Hey everybody, welcome to the Creation Cave. I'm Bill T for Paint Minis Live. Tonight we are diggy hole hole, as the song goes, working on Cal's Abyssal Orcs and Dwarves, trying to get this project back to California with our good friend Cal. Let's get that thank you banner going because that's always a fun little thing. Also, there's a link in there for the Discord. If you'd like to join, you're more than welcome to. We've got a great community of people out there who want to say hi and meet you. Okay. Where are we going? Where are we going? All right. So I'm just going to get everything out here in the open. I think the orcs are basically done at this point. They're very close to it, at least. So yeah, why don't we focus on the dwarves? All right, get you down here on the workbench. See how these guys are doing. I just put them on some temporary bases for now. Some bases I had left over from the Horde of the Damned project since last I looked at them. Alright. So these are our dwarves that we got from our viewer Cal. And alright, here we are. Looks like most of these guys have had at least something done to them since last we checked them out. Got some fun heraldry going on. Alright. So, as you can see, they kind of have that color shift paint going on them. Little different colors, purples and whatnot. Purple to blue, I believe. Camera's picking up only the blue, but that's alright. Cool. I guess we just have like a lot of panel lining and stuff to do on these guys, in various colors. Let's check out our color wheel. Maybe that'll give me some ideas. I was using that the other night and I thought that was kind of cool. I'm gonna use this one from Canva. Present. Alright. So we kind of have... what are we rocking? Almost like a teal. Kind of more over... I'll keep it blue. Yeah. So we went the orange. That's a complementary color. We went that direction. Let's see what happens. What's the triad gonna be? Gonna be like a pink? That would be very, very 80s. If we went with the pink. So could go with the green as well, I guess. Yeah, that hot pink though. That hot pink would be very 80s. Or something of that of that old school kind of bowling alley carpet kind of feel going on with that. I mean, they already look they do look kind of cool. Let's slide this guy over. Stop sharing the screen. Make you big. There we go. Yeah, so as you can see, they're already kind of 80s. Ed C, how you doing? Welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you stay around. This is Paint Minis Live. This is kind of what we do. I'm just this is a project that I've started from one of our viewers. He has a really extensive model collection of like I believe it's 25 to 30 millimeter models. He's got 15,000 models in his collection. And so I asked him, hey, you know, could I paint some of them and just put little Paint Minis Live stamp into your collection? And he was like, yeah, I'll send you some. So there we go. Evolution of Gaming, welcome, welcome. I was promised some Diggy. Well, you got them. We got Dwarves. I did up these Dwarves with this really cool color shift paint, if I can get the camera to focus there. But I did them up with this really cool color shift paint. It's only picking up the teal, but like it does go to like blue and purple. So as I was showing earlier, I just went off and did like on a color wheel, just tried to pick out some complementary colors, and it's getting really 80s up in here. I'll show that once again real quick. But if you just go to a color calculator like this one here, for example, and you try and pick up a color scheme for these guys, this is kind of the region we're looking at. Almost maybe it's a little too purple blue, but we're kind of somewhere in this region for our majority color. You can see it, we've got like blue, this hot pink, and green. We kind of, if we skew it even more towards the blue, we end up with like orange. And I'm thinking maybe orange and green, because they kind of already have this orange thing going on. So yeah, I think that's what we're probably gonna do. But yeah, welcome Etsy and Evolution of Gaming. It's nice to see you. And yeah, Cal definitely has a huge collection of models. He's a big collector. I like talking with Cal about who makes models and just whatnot. So we should probably start painting, since that's our whole shtick here, is that we paint the minis live for your enjoyment, and we bop some tunes, because we kind of like to Bob Ross it out here a little bit. I'm just curious for the newcomers in the chat. You know, what's your hobby? What do you like doing? What brought you to paint minis? We have people from all over in our little community here. Miss Bella Games specializes in playing some cool games. If you haven't checked her out, I definitely would. Minis Live, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Nice. Yeah, I thought about some metallics. I did some work on there on a shield. I'll show you here in a minute once I get done kind of getting some gloves on, so I don't tint my hands with paint color. You can see, let's see, which guy had the shield that I was super proud of. This guy has a really cool filigree on his shield that I thought was kind of cool. So I kind of went with gold and silver, like a rose gold and silver, and it's been working out pretty well. So I think I might stick with some of that. I've done a little bit elsewhere on some of these models too. The best that I can, anyways. Some of it's pretty small detail, but yeah, where else did I thought I put some more stuff on them, but yeah, silver would work out pretty well. Yeah, this guy's got some of his headdress is done up in silver. His shoulder pauldron is done up in silver, so you kind of get an idea of what's going on there. But yeah, that's a good suggestion there, Miss Bella. Evolution of Gaming plays 40k and getting into AOS. Boy, let's see if I can remember my nerd acronyms. Age of Sigmar. Got it, yeah. We did a project here recently. It's kind of in the archives. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. But it's in the archives. We did the Horde of the Damned, and the general that we made for that, because it wasn't really a wargaming army. That was kind of like a role play army or whatever for a campaign of a YouTube friend of ours. It needed like a really good general. It was an army of skeletons, like 28 skeleton miniatures, and it needed like a really good leader. So I picked up the Wraith Lord on horseback, or whatever, Wraith King on horseback. I'm not sure which. But I picked that guy up, and he worked perfect as like a really cool general for this narrative army that we sent him. It's kind of a cool series. If you know, if you want to watch through all of it, it's quite a few hours of painting, but you can skip to the end too, where I do an interview with him, and you can see what all ended up being. I think we're gonna go with Miss Bella Games' suggestion, so we're gonna go ahead and use some Pro Acryl Silver on these guys, and just kind of do up some filigree tonight. There's some livery. I don't know what to call it, but some accents on their armor. I'm gonna get this in the paint shaker. It's kind of loud, so I'm gonna mute myself, and I'll be right back. Evolution of gaming. If you're you're painting 40K then, or are you just playing, doing some gray battles, or if you're into painting them, I would highly recommend I'd highly recommend picking yourself up one of these bad boys, or anybody for that matter. This is just a really cheap nail polish shaker, and I've taken a larger rubber band so you can put the bottle in this tray here, wrap the rubber band over it, and it just sits on the original like little cleat in the back, and then you can hit this button and it shakes the paint. And especially if you have like a glass bead or something inside the paint, it really does a great job at agitating it really quick without having to like... However, you still got to make sure that... However, you still have to make sure that the paint is sealed. Because, yeah, that's going to go everywhere. Yeah, you don't need to buy a $200 vortex mixer thingy. Just, that was like less than 20 bucks on Amazon. And I paid more for it because I wanted it sooner. So, yeah, that's... Some of that stuff out there is not quite worth it in my mind. I've been using that shaker for like a year and a half now, and it's just a dream for my wrist. Let's get our minis back on the board. So I just work on a dirty palette. I'm a lazy painter. I mean, I'm not lazy in my like standards and what I try and, how I challenge myself, but it's hard plastic, so it just keeps getting dirtier and dirtier. I just stopped cleaning it a while back, but I have some new palettes on order. There's some really cool palettes from Turbo Dork. They have these silicone palettes, and if you're using acrylic paints, when they dry onto that silicone, you can literally just pop it inside out like one of those little fidget toys. You can pop it inside out and it'll just come right off of the thing. And I thought that was really cool, so I kind of want to do a review on that palette. I'm just going to take a little and test it on my glove. It's going to beat up like this anyways since I'm wearing vinyl, but it'll kind of show you the consistency of where your paint's at prior to actually painting your model. Plus you can refine your tip on your glove too. So I'm just gonna go through and see if I can't pick out some of this kind of detail on his armor without getting too too crazy here. Hey, how's it going, Sapphire? Good to see ya. Alright, go and have fun at your game. I hope you have a good time. Frost and Fists is in the channel. There you go. Good to see ya. Good to see ya, Mythos. Gotta use that elbow grease indeed. We're doing some dwarves tonight. These are from our viewer Cal. Trying to keep it all in shot. When it's this close up, it can get a little hard to remember exactly where the camera's looking, so bear with me here. I proclaim to be a painter, not a cinematographer. Alright. Just looking for any other bits that would really stand out with silver. I'm gonna go tackle those. Miss Bella, I'm excited for your stream on Tuesday. I'm really hoping to catch that one and support you live, because I tend to come in and check out your stuff. It's always fun. Just picking out little bits and pieces here and there that looks like it could be. Very nice. Very nice. I think we'll maybe do a little bit on his back here, and then we'll switch over to that orange color. I think I used just like a burnt orange on some of the other bits. I have really fallen in love with what is cinematography. There you go. There you go. Frost and Fists is a fun channel to go check out if you're into 40k. Mythos is quite the entertainer, and he also does some live paint stuff with some wonderful results too. His tanks and armor for his ultramarines are pretty chef's kiss. I'll definitely admit that. Okay. I think that's about as much silver as we're gonna do on that guy. I'm gonna go find my orange real quick in my massive paint bucket. Lies. No way. No way. I'm only just telling the truth, man. Like, if I like it, I like it. I think we went off with a burnt orange, if I remember right. That's looking pretty close to what's on the model there, at least from our wrapper. So we'll get that on the shaker here real quick. ETC, if you're in here, I was curious. You know, what got you into the hobby? You know, what is your hobby? What brought you here? It's always good to see new folks. Smurf jokes. Yeah. Some Smurf jokes. All right. So now that we got that all shaken and stirred, you know, if you got some good Smurf jokes that, you know, that one could, you know, that I don't have to do the censor on, like, go ahead and it's awesome in the chat, because I'm for it. I could get down with some Smurf jokes. Playing Blood Angels. There you go. You're one of those guys who likes to mess with, like, the Sanguinary Guard, and do you have oh man, what's his name? Mythos, you might have to help me out here. I even read an entire novel basically about this guy. He's the dude in gold who has the death mask of Sanguinius, I think. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and I don't know why. It's not Grimaldus. He's the hero of Hell's Reach. Who is the I think it's like their chapter master or something, right? Dante. My god, how do you forget Dante? Yeah, I remember it was boy, The Devastation of Baal. I really liked that book. That book was like some flaming hot lore. I liked that one. And at the end, you get this big interaction between Dante and Rowboat Girly Man. Can you tell I'm a Chaos player? No love for the Primarch. Although the lion's cool, I will admit the lion is like, he's pretty cool too. Oh, slam, slam. Oh, poor Mythos. Oof. Now, I think Steve from Who Took My Dice would be probably pretty offended at that, I'm not gonna lie. Because he's the Ultramarines guy. His whole channel is just Ultramarines lore and stuff like that. He is super into the Ultramarines. That's pretty dope. I dig it. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. Well, I know Mythos, he runs a bunch of armies. He is a primo collector. I think you got like what, some guard too in there? A little bit of everything in this guy's toy box. Just trying to pick out some little bits and pieces that we can use this orange on, make a little contrast. You got knights too. Holy man. You know, I've been really wrapped up with the Dungeons and Dragons community and just like the role playing community in general. They've really embraced Paint Minis Live as a channel and rallied to it and shown me like a lot of support. And in the future here, I'm kind of planning on doing. Well, I already know what my channel mascot's gonna be, and it's gonna be our the Paint Minis Live Warlord Titan. I've already got him. It's a long story. I've told it a bunch of times, but just for the sake of evolution of gaming, this is an old mini from back when the only Titan Warlord Titans you could get was from the Titan Manufactorum. Here's one of the barn shoulders of it, but it was absolutely destroyed in shipping, so I've got to figure out how to repair it and put it back together. So I'm gonna get some specialists on the stream to help me figure out how to put this bad boy back together. But it is it's pretty cool. Let me bing bang. Yeah, so that's just a shoulder piece of it, and that's gonna be our channel's mascot. I'm gonna call him Leo. I think it's gonna be Leonardus, or sorry, Pablo Picasso. That's what it was, Pablo Picasso. So here's his foot. It's quite a big old thing. This is the kind of central structure of it. Again, I still have a lot to repair on this guy, but it's an old school Titan back in the day of Manufactorum, the Titan Manufactorum actually being a company. All right. Yeah, I know. It's really, it is really, really massive. I bought it on eBay from the seller, and the seller's, like, significant other packed it, and they went on a business trip, and their person, I guess, had packed it with just, like, plastic shopping bags. They just threw a ton of these wrinkled up plastic shopping bags in there, did absolutely nothing for shipping, just totally destroyed it. I got my money back and a free Warlord Titan out of the deal, so heck, if I can get something out of it, I might as well. Calvinoni, the one and only, is in the house. This was the guy I was talking about earlier with the oh-so-good Dwarves that we're currently working on. Cal, thanks for being here. It is good to see you. Warlord is a heck of a way to slay the gray, for sure. I think I'm gonna modify it so it's got like airbrush for guns. Like I'm just gonna use some of these old airbrushes that I have, and I'm gonna replace the like volcano cannons with airbrushes. And it's gonna be like a painting themed thing as well. We have the technology. But yeah, first and foremost, I've had Cal's Dwarves for 4 months, and I whip myself left and right every time I look at them, and they're not done yet. So I absolutely have to get these guys out the door ASAP, because there are no more excuses on the planet. Well, hey, thanks for coming by, Cal. Who do you moderate for? Should we give a little shout out? You moderating for somebody in particular? By all means, I'm a person who likes to raise all boats in the tide. Just loading my brush up here. Well, you know, sometimes I have a little bit of that telepathy going on. We got 6 live chat lounge cats and on the stream tonight. Thank you all for being here. I do appreciate it. It makes some of this work go by a little bit quicker. You know what? I might. It's the legendary Tonka Todd in studio, everyone. As I'm gonna kind of just readjust my camera. I'm feeling like this is a nice, comfortable position for me. So. Oh boy. Kind of messed that one up a little bit. Let's see if we can get some of that orange out of there. Cal, you said you got these from Mantic, because I am absolutely pumped for Mantic right now. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That some of the orange left of that area, anyways. Yeah, Tonka Todd has been he's been a cheerleader for the channel for quite a while. Since some of the very early inception of Paint Minis Live, he's been on board helping us out. He's even helping us out with a very secret special project that I think Mythos knows about it, but not very many people know about that project and exactly what it's all entailing. I've been hard at work on that project as a way to help the community out further. And Tonka Todd's been helping out the channel with all of his talents. It's been quite awesome. And a nerd's nerd, the queen of 3D sculpting, is in the house. Oh boy, I didn't know we were having celebrities walking into the chat tonight. Wow, holy man. Nerd, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? I gotta get my Joan Rivers out for that. Diversity in dragons. Very nice, very nice. Okay, alright. Kind of a gaming news channel. I dig it, I dig it. I'll have to go check it out. That's cool. But yeah, these dwarves from Mantic are giving me like I am getting really excited right now because Mantic put out a statement that they're releasing a Halo tabletop game at some point in conjunction with 343 Studios sometime this year, and I'm about ready to like explode with anticipation. I can't take it anymore. I really just want some pictures. Like show me them Spartans from that game. Show me the show me whatever it is that you are putting out, because I am like way over the moon excited for it. Need a little white gold to throw on these guys, I think. Their armor is pretty cool, though. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Probably maybe some browns. They got like these kilt things going on. I might put a little brown on there, make that leather instead of just plate. I don't really know quite what to do with that. Okay. Cool, cool. I dig it. I dig it. Yeah, I heard about that. Dropping Portuguese. I don't know, man. That company is like the... I think Hasbro or whatever is... They're losing their minds. They're going nuts over there. I don't know what they're doing. I'm just gonna stick with, you know, indie game creators, people like James F. Keck Publishing. He's another friend of the channel. The Dungeon Delver releases modules for old school D&D, which you can find all the rules for online. Like, it's all public domain kind of stuff. And, you know, you can go and look at RPG Grandma's stuff if you want to go check out, like, some books of items and stuff. Like, she does reviews of that stuff all the time. You can pick up, like, cool stuff for that. And you don't have to worry about all the other shenanigans that's going on with, like, Hasbro and that stuff. Just, like, pick a version of D&D you like, or just go with, like, a standalone game. I've been playing James F. Keck's Dreamweaver, which is kind of like Stranger Things, where you're playing as like kids, except for it's even like littler than middle school, like 6-year-old kids. And my character has a fire truck with like a water cannon, and when it shoots, it's like this big blast of water. And you can use your imagination for like everything. It is absolutely hilarious, and I love it, and I think it's a great value for like not that much cash up front, and you got yourself a wonderful RPG setting with wonderful rules. And plus, a lot of his games, the rules kind of some of them carry over from different ones, and so you're really comfortable and set with them when you go and pick up another one. It's just a lot of fun. All right, did I put white gold out here? I did. I thought ahead for once, folks. A Corf. There you go. Oh yeah. This shield is probably my most. I am so proud of how this shield turned out. I think that really turned out great. This guy, I'm not doing anything with his shield because I managed to hit all the lines just right with that one. This guy's shield came out pretty good too. There's a couple areas that I went a little off the mark, but for details that are smaller than a grain of rice, it's not bad. Well, thank you, Miss Bella. I appreciate it. Thanks for the compliment. Trying to squeeze gold out of a turnip. Oh man, that kinda... Yeah, for sure. I think they're trying to milk the last of that cow on their way out, and they're just... I don't know what they're doing. Take about a second here. Change my glove. I just got gold paint all over it. I wasn't paying attention. I ended up squeezing a ton of it out of the bottle. I covet the shields. Greedy dwarves. Hey, they're greedy chorfs. You know? Like, not only are they just standard greedy dwarf style, but like they're gonna get even greedier. It's because they got that extra CH going on. Killing your golden goose, yeah. I don't get it, man. You know, they got people up there making a ton of money on top of that company, and none of them can really figure out that if you just do a little fan service and like just put out some actually quality stuff, that people would probably pay for it more than the stuff that is not great, or like cost cutting to save a buck, you know? Like, it's not rocket science, folks. Like, people gravitate naturally towards good stuff that they can get their hands on, and if they can get their hands on it and it's good stuff, you basically have won the marketing battle. So just stab. Just stop. But I digress. I have been sitting here yakking up a storm and not painting, and I feel a little bit bad for it. We're already 40 minutes into the stream, and I feel like my mouth has been moving faster than my brush hand has. However, I will admit I am very happy that we are now like actually under the Dwarves proper. The orcs were a huge kind of battle, but it wasn't too bad. Oh man, these gloves are taking a tank on me. Okay, fine. No glove for that hand. So we got the silver, we got the orange. We're gonna go ahead and get some of this rose gold going on in there. This will kind of yellow. This has a bit more of a yellow tint to it. Think your old school 2000s iPhone colored rose gold. Yeah, as you can see, it's that kind of color as compared to our silver. Right here, you can see how that's got quite a bit of different, a bit more yellow in it. And yes, at one point I did have a rose gold iPhone. It was because I had to it was all they had left in stock. Back in I don't even know what that was. Early 2000s. I think we're just gonna do the whole thing in this gold color. Really make it stand out, his little headdress here. I don't know exactly what that is, if it's a bat or something, but it's doing a thing for sure. But yeah, Cal, you got me on the Mantic train after like handling these models and painting them and seeing what kind of detail they have. I am kind of like all over them now. That company produces some really good models. I've been enjoying some of the detail they have on here. Some of it is just a little soft in some parts, but like I mean it's for the size of these models and kind of the overall detail of it. I think this is actually some pretty good bang for your buck. So I like I said, I'm really excited that they're partnering with 343. I was a huge Halo nerd back in the day, and so I'm excited to see what they do with the Halo franchise. Oh, you got those on sale. Nice. So even better. I was talking to my friend Jack today, and we were like, if when we hear more information about it, depending on what kind of game it is, I'd like to do a series of building building some of like those legendary Halo 3 maps, like Valhalla, or going back to like Halo 1 and doing Blood Gulch as like physical terrain. I think that would be really cool to do. And I'm sure there's some folks out there that would be really into that. Does this guy have horns? Oh, yep. Alright. His Peldrin has like ram skull horns going on. Whole army was 104. That is ridiculously good value for money. Holy god. If it's anything like that box you showed me, that is ridiculously good value for your money. Oh, Narrows. The Narrows map. Gotcha. Yeah, I would love to do up some of those maps as like physical terrain. I think it would be definitely worth the while, and even though I don't, you know, I'm not one to really play the whole YouTube game, I think it would be really nice to kind of catch some folks coming from all that hype train, and see if I can't bring them into the Paint Minis Live fold a little bit, see if they're interested in our community. It'd be some nice hot news to catch. Excuse me. Just to get some folks checking us out. Oh man. Someone who waited in the cold for Halo 2. I was still a bit young for that one, but I do remember waiting in line for the Halo 3 release. And I do miss the midnight game releases and just like the weird funky people you'd meet there. Some of them hadn't showered in days or something like that, and but they would always have like a cool story to tell you, or maybe they knew your aunt's uncle's brother, cousin's dog, Scruffy, or something like that. And it was always just really fun to go and meet some folks. So already we're getting quite a bit more interest out of this model with just a couple extra colors, which I think is working quite well in our favor. Thanks everybody for being here. Again, I do appreciate it. This was from, what did Mantic call this? Flames of War or something like that? It was a Kings of War? I'm not exactly sure 100% on what the name of the game was, but it looked like a pretty fun medieval skirmish battle thing, which I haven't really tried out. I've wanted to play Age of Sigmar. Well, not like old school, I guess. The old school stuff. What did they call that? Warhammer Fantasy Battles. I wanted to do that back in the day, but I just couldn't quite foot the bill for it. And like 40K was actually the more economical of the two. When I was like just coming out of high school, I was pretty strapped for cash, but man, I went to a game store and I found those spiky bitted Marines and I was all over it. Yeah, Kings of War. Okay, yeah, Flames of War is the World War II one. Gotcha. I think we're gonna pull off our leather trick as usual. We're gonna go ahead with we're gonna do up these just point them out for starters. We're gonna do these kind of kilt areas in we're gonna go with our kind of leather mix. So we're gonna start with dark umber, and then we're gonna highlight with light umber, and it makes a really cool looking kind of leather. In my mind, it's pretty similar anyways to a nice leather color. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are all good, and then I have 4, I guess, still left. Yeah, 4 of them that are primed that I have to go and do the rest of the actual painting on. I've kind of been messing with these guys since. I've never heard anybody say it was the more economical choice. Well, because I saw people, they had like, oh yeah, I got like 3,000 lizard men or something. I mean, they'd come in with these massive armies, and I was like, oh no. And I didn't understand how the game worked. I just looked at that and I was like, oh my god, the amount of money that's gonna take. And so I went with 40k because it looked kind of cool and whatnot. And then I made a mistake. I've never financially recovered from that. Do you have a recommend Xandri dust? Okay, well, we can find out. We can find out real quick. Xandri dust. I run the entire show off of this tiny little keyboard here. Let's see. So, Xandri dust. Let's find out what that is. Oh, okay. You're talking about kind of like a khaki. You got yourself a khaki color. Yeah. What color would you have underneath Xandri dust? And I'm guessing you're looking for like a shadow, right? This is going to be your highlight for this Xandri dust color. Let's bring it up on screen so everybody can see what we're talking about. That probably is the good choice here. Share screen. Yeah, I want to do that, and select window. Xandri dust. Sweet. Bam. Okay, so that's the color in question that we're talking about. Kind of got this khaki going on, khaki green, olive drab deal. Now, I guess that would kind of also bring up what is all in the Citadel range if you're just working on the Citadel. Citadel paints. Oh. Paints. Let's see. Explore the range. I'm not huge on Citadel. Personally. Okay, whatever, we'll take your cookies. Do they have a, like, just here's all the colors? They don't. Okay, fine. Okay, they're not gonna give me an entire thing. I mean, I could give you like a generalized idea, but I don't think I could like tag it right to the like one of the colors you could use with Citadel, unfortunately, because that's just going to be a little too involved. I would say, You can go. So your predominant color is going to be like a khaki green, somewhere hanging out towards like that yellow brown area. Color wheels are becoming like my new favorite thing. I mean, I've used them before, but they are becoming my new favorite thing. Go logos. There we go. If you're looking for like a shade, yeah, that's kind of the question. All straight Xandri dust. You want some dynamic airbrushing, so you want to start with a darker color and highlight up to the Xandri dust. Yeah. You can either hang. You can go kind of north on the color wheel, and you can go towards towards maybe a bit more of a like a really dark olive drab. Like even further than that Xandri dust is going to be almost like a an American World War II tank style olive drab, or you can kind of walk it back towards, or you could walk back towards cooler colors, in which case you'd be wanting to go a bit more heavy on the green side and start like working your way up and going towards like a more woodland kind of color. Anything between brown, like brown, would probably be a good bet. If you're gonna highlight up to it, just start with a nutty brown, man. I don't know what else to kind of other color descriptors, but something like this this umber color, start with like a nutty brown, or even like a super dark brown to put. You could do like some pre panel line shades on it and run with this darker umber. And just try and airbrush it right into the lines between the panels. Slap some lighter brown over the top of it, and then just bring it all back towards that Xandri dust color that you originally set out for, and you'll have nice transitions that go across it. It's hard to explain, but I would say go for brown. I would go for brown, and then your khaki is going to look really nice. Road March is in the house. How's it going, Road March? We're chin wagging quite a bit. We're painting some dwarves for Cal. Finally, we're getting to the dwarves. The orcs are out of the picture now. Well, welcome. I hope you can come in here and relax, chill out after a long day at work. I appreciate you being here. It's good to see you as always, Road March. Baneblade Brown. Yeah. All right, I would check that out. All right, where was our dude? Where were we working here? We got you. Nope, not you. This guy. This guy was what we were working on. Okay. Finally, getting back to the leather work that I was trying to start about 10 minutes ago. I have a really hard time with Citadel colors. I do. Like, I don't know the names of them very well. I don't use them very often. I use their like Nuln Oil and Reichland Flesh Shade, and maybe like one or two like Blood for the Blood God, because it's really hard to beat as a technical paint. I'm not gonna lie. You can't really beat Blood for the Blood God. It is just so on point. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I don't really use a ton of their product. I mean, I know people get really good results for it, so I'm not, you know, I'm not saying it's bad. It's not my personal favorite. That khaki color is kind of nice though. I will admit. I would probably pick up a bottle of that just to have some colors that are um between greens, I guess. And khaki, because they do have khaki, but you know, and you can paint mix your way there too, I suppose. There we go. Yeah, Pro Acryl is you know, I've really kind of fallen in love with that paint. I do like me some Vallejo as well. I've used their Model Air stuff in the past with good success. Um, I've not tried the Army Painter stuff though, and every time I see Cal drop a new picture of what he's done with some of those Army Painter speed paints and just their other stuff, I kick myself in the back of the head like, man, you got to try that at some point here. When I have some hobby dollars, I'm definitely going after some speed paint and whatnot to just check out, because I think it would be pretty cool. Hey, you know, there's no time like the present, and you know, if it's I just look at it, you know, if you buy it and you're and you paint it and you enjoy it, then it's probably worth your money, you know. That's just the way that I would put it. Oop. The hobby painter? You should get the hobby painter before you do your 24-hour session. What I'm a little lost on that one. I might be living under a rock. Is there some new techno gizmo out there called the hobby painter that I don't know about? I feel like Patrick Starr. Oh, is that their? Yeah, I think I've seen that. Is that their wet palette? Um, is that their wet palette that the army painter or whatever is selling now? I heard they put out a wet palette. In which case, I might try it, but I already have one, so it would kind of just be. I don't know. I guess maybe I could give it away. It would be a little weird to give away a used product, but I mean, I suppose if somebody wants it. Oh, the army painter speed paint. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I should definitely pick some of that up prior to it. I think they do have a product too that's like the hobby. hobby wet palette or something like that that they've got as well. So as you can see, it kind of once it starts drying and starts blending together, and looks a bit like leather. Just little bits that all kind of start working together. To a lobster bisque container. That's great. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, like this palette, I have been painting with this for years, and I have never cleaned it off. I just don't. It's like lazy painter, man. But hey, thank you, Road March. I appreciate that. Thanks for the compliment. We're trying our best. I want to make sure these are really unique and very interesting looking for Cal, since he's been waiting ever so patiently for his minis for the past 4 months. So I want to make sure that it's some pretty quality stuff for him. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on trying to pin down his belt the best I can. There we go. Let's check up on the chat, shall we? Ferrero Rocher with paper towel and wax paper. There you go. All right, I can dig it. Those homemade ones work just the same. If that's what you got, use it. You know, like, why not? It's it's not total rocket science. You know, you can make them out of anything, and if it works, it works. Like, if you got the nice, pretty painted mini you wanted, then that's all that matters. Oh. I just I decided to bite the bullet and get this this guy right here, the exemplar wet palette from Game Indie, and I like this one because it comes with a little card to flatten down your paper. It comes with a nice little tray for your paints, so you can take it on the go. You can put your brushes right in there, so they're with you. I mean, I've had this thing hold paint liquid enough to paint with in the Paint Minis Live mini fridge that's down here in the creation cave for like almost like a week. I mean, they're still pretty usable even a week later. I honestly have to pop this guy open and clean it at some point, but I mean, it's still pretty decently moist in there. Like, plus they give you like a ton of extra sponges and papers and whatnot to do stuff with it. It's a fun little piece of kit, though. Okay, so we got our belt going here. We're gonna throw a little bit of our light umber on just the top of the belt, give it a highlight. We'll move on to the next guy. So yeah, I think this is kind of gonna be our theme for this guy when it comes to just how the rest of it's gonna work out. Some nice orange, some silver, little white gold on the places that count, a little brown for some leather. I forgot these guys. I don't know. I think it's like this part of that chain skirt like material or like leather skirted Roman material going on up here. I forgot to paint. Looking good, looking good. Alright. This guy's got a gun. He's got like a, I don't know, some kind of chaos dwarf gun going on. I already can tell that a lot of this is going to be brown. Well, some of it's going to be brown. So we're gonna do the stock like right off the bat. Belting it out. For sure. If I remember right, Cal said they were Mantic Games minis from Kings of War. We may as well go and do that to these guys too. There we go. That's kind of looking a bit more cohesive. as I'm doing like half of this out of shot. Pardon me. Yeah, blunderbuss battle axe. That would probably be a pretty right-on descriptor. I tend to I manipulate the crud out of these models when I'm painting them. I just move them all over. My brush hand barely moves. It's mostly just the model that's moving around. And that's kind of how I hold these bad boys steady to try and get as much of a straight line as I can. It's hard with a brush, you know. Unless you're one of those gods of painting out there that is just surgeon steady, which I'm not. I'm not really. I can usually draw a pretty straight line with a brush, but most of it is just in that technique of manipulating the model rather than your brush hand. Cool. Oh, I didn't know that Mantic owner used to work at GW? That's pretty cool. What has Todd got a question about? I wonder. They're back now. After quite a hiatus, they are back. The Leagues of Votan was what they were called. I think they. My guess is probably for money reasons. They wanted to put all their money towards the sculpts that actually sold. And it wasn't until Warhammer kind of took off with a lot of the people that were at home with COVID that they started dumping just oodles of money into models and such after that. But then we got the Dwarves did come back as the Leagues of Votan. They definitely have their own art style going on for sure. So now we're just gonna try and stripe ourselves some wood grain. So now you can kind of see it definitely looks kind of like faux wood. You just put some squiggly lines on there with a little bit of logic and you end up with some somewhat like a wood grain. The squats, that's what they were. Yeah, they definitely wanted that grimdark going on. I mean, if I remember right, some of the early versions of Warhammer 40k, like the dwarves or whatever, the squats had land trains, like Australian land trains, with guns and rockets and stuff. Most of it looked really cool. Because, yeah, 40k was pretty hokey at a point there. If you played Warhammer 40k, you'd play the Dwarf army. You know, Todd, I think they would be kind of well up your alley. Some of them might even be your brother. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I really want to use a dark silver or something on this the barrel of his gun, so I'm gonna go hunting through my paint bucket again in just a moment. They had turtle wagons? Okay, I didn't know about the turtle wagons. That's pretty cool. One that I personally wouldn't mind seeing come back to Warhammer 40k is I want to see the Zotes come back. I want to see the Zotes, baby. Give me them Zotes. They were a Tyranid race at one point, and they just looked goofy. They were like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ended up in a nuclear reactor for like 5 hours. Somebody hit ding on the microwave oven, and out came Raphael with like 2 extra feet and like 8 arms. All right, let's find us some colors. Bronze might work. Bronze would be cool. I think it was Miss Bella earlier was talking about. Miss Bella was talking about doing some other colors in there. Bronze. Yeah, bronze might work. Let's give it a shot. I think it'll work out alright. I think it'll work very nice. I'm gonna get this on the paint shaker. I'll be right back. Alright. I just thought I would save everybody their ears. I do every once in a while I forget to mute the mixer in the studio here. But I just thought I'd save your ears for once. Yeah, that color will work out pretty well with what we got going already. Alright, where was the dude that we just did all that beautiful... There we go. A little bit of that woodwork going on. I just want the barrel to be this bronze color. I am not the best painter in the world. I don't really go down that whole non-metallic metal path. So yeah, bronze it is. I'm just like, you can't really tell where his fingers are. So we're gonna come back to that a little bit later, but yeah, I think this bronze is working out quite nicely. I'll just do a bunch of different metallics on this battle axe blunderbuss. Cal, do you want your bolter drilled out? Or sorry, excuse me, your blunderbuss battle axe, do you want it drilled out? Cuz I will drill out the I'll put a hole in there and prime it if you want. Oh, and I'm doing half this off the screen. Sorry, folks. Yeah, that's looking cool. We gotta do the trigger in the same color then, too. I might just do it for him. RWBY. Have I seen that one? I don't think I've seen that one. Unfortunately. And I pick up an anime about like once every couple of years. I don't know. I will really sink my teeth into that thing though. I will binge it if it's good. I think part of it for me is I know it's kind of the style of it, but the constantly like almost over exaggerated everything gets to me just a little bit. But it's, you know, that's all just style, I guess. But there are some really good animes out there. Okay. I don't know. I might just make that executive decision. I'll prime it and paint it for him. I think they would look good. I think there's, you know, otherwise it kind of looks like a torch. I guess if you're, you know, if you don't look at the trigger or anything, it looks like a torch. So I think we're just, I'm not hearing from him, but like, this is just kind of what I would do if it was mine. One giant robot. I suppose. I wouldn't put it past. All right. So I'm gonna check this by taking the drill bit and just seeing how big. Yeah, that's too big. That's closer. I think it's honestly gonna be this guy. and then the absolutely tiny one for bolt pistols. That's too big as well. You got a Zoe out of Necromunda? Oh, maybe Blackstone Fortress. I'm not 100% sure though. I haven't played those, but I know that there was some Zote stuff going on with some of those. I think this guy is probably going to be our winner, just because I don't want to go too far past. Like, if you look at how thick this is compared to the boar, I think that's pretty close. Yeah, I think this one's gonna go down. This one's gonna go down quite a bit, and then we're gonna widen it out with gradually larger bits. But having no response from Calvinoni, the one and only, I think I'm just gonna trudge ahead and do it. We're gonna make these, do these up 40k style and drill out our boreholes. So that's basically the pilot hole. And then I'm gonna go the next step up. Oh boy. I didn't get any response, and I was like, do you want your blunderbusses drilled out? And I just kind of went for it. So we're gonna give these guys a nice big opening because I thought they kind of look like torches. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna prime them and paint them anyways. All right. Well, that answers that question. All right. All right. Well, sorry, man. I went after one. We'll feather that back in. All right. Maybe I'll just do a black dot on the rest of them. Sorry about that, dude. Let's see. Just do a little bit of gray then, and just dot the top of them. Make them kind of look like they're open then. bits out of the way. I'm not that hardcore. Alright. I'm a sucker for a drilled bow, for a drilled gun barrel. I'm sorry, Cal. Oh, to make it look like there's a shot coming out of it? I don't think I have any ball bearings on hand, but that would definitely be the way to do it. There, Miss Bella. I couldn't agree with you more. Unfortunately, I don't have any ball bearings that small. I don't even have any BBs, to be honest. Or like beads, I guess maybe you could use a bead, but put a little silver on the palette as well. How's it working out for you, Kel? Let me get just a little bit of silver on here. Do some accents on his blunderbuss. Some little strapping going on here. Let's see. Here we go. Back in focus, Billy. Back in focus. I am really not quite sure what this is, but like, maybe you guys can tell. But his hand is like, you see the fingers, you can tell his fingers right here. And then, but there's more nubs. Like, there's another finger coming out of the fingers. Or, I guess I'm not really sure what that is. I know this part right here is some kind of metal, so we'll just get that out of the way. But I'm really not 100% sure what that these other little nubs are. It kind of looks like he's just got fingers coming out of fingers. I think that's about enough on his gun. The rest of it can kind of stay with his armor. Alright, cool beans. We got 8 live chat lounge cats in the stream. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, yeah. If I head out to the local craft store and I find something that small, I'll definitely go with your suggestion there, Miss Bella. Let's see if we can put something in there. No, we're fine. This is my other hand. This is just some vinyl gloves to protect my fingers so that I don't go into work tomorrow with all that on my hand. You can really tell who's a war gaming painter or just a miniature painter by what their hands look like, because you'll see all the colors that they previously painted. Could the mystery nubs on the dwarf hands be brass knuckles? I suppose they could. That doesn't sound very far off the mark for them. There we go. Nice little extras on his necklace or cape thing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I was taking over, fingers everywhere. Have you guys seen some of those pictures? I'm telling you, I have laughed. I've never laughed so hard at the weird mutated things that come out of AI image generation. They are just so weird, like uncanny valley creepy. And it's just people with eyes that are looking different directions, but it looks really photorealistic is quite unsettling, to say the least. I'm just using the faintest amount of pressure here just to nick these raised edges on these kind of tribal bands, I guess. If I use too much, I'm gonna go right into where the armor is. But otherwise, you can kind of hit those raised edges and get most of that idea of the sculpt across. And it looks like I need a little bit more water with my paint. It's always a good idea to add just a little bit of water to your paint. And it'll flow nice and smooth for you as you paint your model. Yeah, there you go. A little bit too much though, and you'll end up with that. So I'm gonna try and pluck it out that hole. Alright, well, sometimes we have happy little accidents here, folks. Happy little accidents. Over here on Paymoney's Live. We don't have mistakes, just happy little accidents. There we go. Kind of cool. A little extra bling. Oh yeah. I will put one in the description. I'll shotgun one out again in the community posts for Paint Minis. I'll put a link in there for the Discord. Actually, I think I got you as a friend. I got your Discord, so I'll just shoot you an invite, but I'll also I'll do that anyways with the community post, just so that folks can do it again. I find that even though you put the expiration time for the invite at infinite, it will still manage to disappear after about 7 days, and I don't know why. So I kind of have to constantly keep up on it. and I'm already not that good at doing descriptions for the videos, or for the live streams, I should say. But yeah, I'll put something up for everybody, because we have a lot of really cool folks in the Discord, and you can do a lot of fun networking and stuff there too with cool folks there. Find some new creators to watch, find other hobbyists to talk shop with, gab about nerd stuff. I think there's even a wonderful picture of RPG Grandma dressed up as a Klingon in one of the channels. You can go hunt it down if you want to. Bob Ross is a pretty big inspiration for me, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that dude had some serious skills. And he was just fun to watch too. Thank you, Todd. You are a... this guy, I'm telling you, this guy, he's amazing. He's an amazing person. This Tonka Todd is. Thank you very much, Todd. I do appreciate the help there. You, sir, provided tonight's help action. I was kind of thinking about this dude. He's got this, you know, we did the bronze on his gun. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if we did some bronze on the back of his helmet here? I thought that'd be kind of fun. We're gonna try a little bit. Still got a ton of it on my palette. I think the temperature changes in the season here have been wreaking havoc with just the pressure of the paint in the bottle. So they're squeezing out a lot more because the temperature has changed. And they're expanding and contracting. They're not freezing, but, you know, just the hot and cold. Because the creation cave is indeed in the basement, where it gets can get a little chilly. This guy has some seriously intricate lattice work going on his helmet, and I'm kind of starting to regret my decision, but it keeps coming out better and better as I keep going at it. Well, say if you like what you see and you want to see more of it, do that click, click, ding, ding thing that everybody talks about, and you can see more of it, and it's free and it's fun. So why not, right? All right, that is looking quite nice, all things considered. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it anyways, but I think a little bit of lattice work on the back of his helmet in that bronze is making him quite interesting from the backside. The front, I'm not sure. The detail is just a hair soft on the front of his helmet, which is gonna make that a little tricky, but can go ahead and try. Let's see where's everybody tuning in from. Yeah, 9 folks coming in from YouTube. If you prefer another platform, Paint Minis Live is also on Twitch and Twitter Live. And it's all simultaneous casting or whatever mumbo jumbo they call it these days. So if you are just more apt to one platform or another, feel free to jump in from there. I'll receive comments from everywhere. So don't worry about it. I'll still hear you. All right, there we go. What time are we creeping up on? We've been streaming for about 2 hours now. I think I'm probably gonna be headed off here soon. Once I get this helmet done, we'll do maybe a little wrap up chit chat, and we will leave Cal's beautiful dwarves for the next session. To be honest, I'm starting to realize more and more that my painting capacity personally is like about 20, sorry, what is it? Yeah, about 30 or 40 models. And that'll last me about 12 episodes, I think. Or, sorry, probably 12 to 13 episodes worth of paint time. Because I do it all live. You know, it's kind of my shtick. But it does take some time. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave that there for tonight. We made some wonderful progress on these guys. A lot of wonderful suggestions from the chat for our wonderful dwarves for Cal. The more and more I paint on them, and the more and more suggestions I get for colors and just ideas on what to do with them, the more and more I am kind of thinking that this color scheme is working out. At first I wasn't like huge on it, but I think these are coming out real well. Mike Dymart is coming into the chat. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. Thanks for coming back. I do appreciate it. And welcome from the lair in Southern California to the humble creation cave in northern Minnesota. But yeah, I think these guys are turning out quite well. Yeah, all right. Well, what do we have? What do we have coming up for Paint Minis? Coming later on in the week, we have. I'm going to be on the Dungeon Delvers channel. They're inviting me over there once again to play Conflict with Kyle Schwant and Bill Sylvie over there. If you happen to be interested in a tactical kind of military mercenary role-playing game with some fun folks who do some fun acting and wild and zany things, you're gonna enjoy it. It's kind of the A team if it was a bit more chaotic. So, oh man, you lived an hour north of Duluth. What do you know? Wow, it's a small world. I'm happy you're here, Mike. That is great. That is great. That's like that's my backyard. But anyways, if you're into kind of military tactical shooter RPG, thing, go on Wednesday over to the Dungeon Delvers channel. You can find him here on YouTube at the Dungeon Delver. You'll see it coming across the banner here real soon. We have a lot of fun there. So head over there, show him some PML love. On Thursday, we'll be back in the studio. Once again, hard at work grinding out Cal's Abyssal Orcs and Dwarves here on the show. What else? Stay tuned for more information. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background, a lot of big things that are kind of in limbo right now. Just waiting to get some organization and logistics together for you know, our future for PML. I took a poll a little while back. Some people wanted to see some more spiced up stuff on the show, and we're bringing it, as well as some other like absolutely massive news that'll be happening later on in the year. So again, just stay tuned. I appreciate you being here. Thank you to all you folks. If it wasn't for you, I don't think I would have a ton of motivation to do all this stuff and set up all the equipment and all of the stuff in the creation cave, which at some point I'll have to do a tour of, so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm working with. And you know, just yeah, thanks for being on this journey. When do you think I might do a 12 or 24 hour painting challenge? I think after we're done with Cal's Abyssal Orcs and Dwarves here. Everything is after this at this point. He's been waiting quite a while for these guys, and I can't put him off any longer. So yeah. Thanks for all the kind compliments. Thank you, Calvinoni, the one and only. Thank you, Miss Bella Games. Thank you to Tonka Todd. Thank you to Mike Dymart. Thank you to Mythos from Frost and Fits. If you're into 40K, please check it out. Thank you to a Nerd's Nerd for showing up and checking us out and being here with us. Nerds, you're always welcome, and thanks for being here. You're a delight to be around. Thank you to Evolution of Gaming. Evolution of Gaming was new to the channel, so everybody give him a warm welcome. Thank you to Road March for coming in and viewing the stream after work. I hope it was relaxing and entertaining, both at the same time, hopefully, but if not one, hopefully the other. Thank you to... Just want to make sure I'm not missing everybody. Thank you to Sapphire for the drive-by, hello, goodbye, and ETC for coming in and checking out the channel at the beginning of the stream. Hopefully we'll see you back sometime soon. I'd like to get to know you more and just say hello. With that being said, I'm Bill T for Paint Minis Live. Everybody have a great rest of your morning, noon, or night, and stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you in the next one.